Everybody. I'm going to be doing a vendor reveal for you today. Vendor reveal, I'm going to reveal a vendor that could be helpful for you if you're thinking about opening a beauty supply store or you're getting ready to get started and you're having a tough time trying to find vendors. I am going to give you a vendor at the end of the video. Um, Vendors are something that people do not generally give away simply because it's equivalent to having a famous recipe and you don't want to just willy-nilly pass that around. Um, you want to kind of protect your vendor information. It's not that you don't want to help people or that you are being mean or selfish, but it is business and business is very competitive. So you do want to protect your vendor information. But I am going to give one vendor for those who are just getting ready to get started because it can be very difficult to find vendors. So just a little bit about vendors for the newbies or those who are thinking about going into the beauty supply industry. Um, it is very difficult because Asians sit at the top of the market and they have not only gotten into the market, but they have locked it up. And they have, in many cases, purposely decided that they're going to keep African Americans out of the market. There are vendors that I cannot get into, and so I just want you to be prepared for what you're going to face as you try to start purchasing your products for your store. So one of the things that, one of the issues that this is some of the scenario that I've run into. I called the company Shake and Go, which is a very popular quick weave company. And I said, hey, I'm a business owner, beauty supply store owner. I'd like to start ordering your product, carry it in my store. I'm in near the Detroit area, so I know it's going to do well, this, that, and the other. And their response was, well, excuse me, we have to come out and see your store. I said, okay. And they said, okay, see you later. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I said, are you going to make an appointment? When are you going to come? So that's run around number one, right? So then I kept pressing because when you start getting into your vendors, you have to be persistent. You cannot take no for an answer. You have to be persistent. So he saw that the Koreans or Asians saw that I wasn't going to fall for that. So then he said, oh, yeah, I just looked it up. Your store is located in Oak Park, Michigan. So down the street, there's a store that already sells Shake and Go. So we cannot sell it to you. So I said, that makes no sense to me. How can you tell me that you're not going to sell me a product? So that was a customer. Sorry about that. Even though I'm closed, they're still coming in. That's okay. But anyway, so he said, well, it's in our contract that only so many stores can carry our product. But the unfair part is I'm on a busy road. I'm on Greenfield Road. And there are at least in the vicinity in a 5-mile radius, there are at least 4 beauty supply stores in that radius. All of them carry that product, if I'm not mistaken. I'm the only one that can't get the product. I'm the only black one. So it's very unfortunate. It makes you feel like a piece of the 60s, the 50s, the 40s. And I'm not trying to compare who I am and where I am today with what Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King had to go through. I'm not. However, you really feel the discrimination heavily in this industry. And what makes it so painful is that we are the cash cow. If every African American in America decided, you know what, for the next 90 days, we are only shopping Black owned beauty supplies. That means if we have to drive miles away, if we have to order online, we are only shopping Black only beauty supplies. You would be surprised at how many Asian beauty supply stores you would completely shut down because we are more than 90% of the dollar. But when we decide to wake up and say, you know what, I want to make some of the money that they're making off of me. When we do that, they purposely lock us out. I have been into different places to try to start accounts and have been told you can't shop here. Basically, like almost if I wasn't a woman, I believe they would have manhandled me and just put me out. I was walking into one place, you can't be here. I said, excuse me? I had to catch myself like, really? This is like 2000 and 18. You can't tell me I can't be here. Those days are over. You don't have an LLC. I say, yes, I do. So I did encounter some very rude, and this happens continuously. So, my people, if you're going to be in this business, you better have your big girl panties on or balls or whatever you want to call it. You better be ready because if you're weak, you're not going to make it. So, I just wanted to give you an inside view. You don't give up though, just keep pushing. How did I find all of my vendors? Research, online, Google. I did not buy any vendor list. I'm not sure how well they work. I just did a lot of YouTube research, a lot of Google research, a lot of, I was willing to travel. So it's a lot of hard work. So just be willing to do your research. You notice that I'm wearing a wig. Normally, when I do a video, I always showcase one of the wigs that we have in the store. So this wig that I'm showcasing today, for those of you who like color and layers, this one is the Magic Lace Curved Part wig. You can go to tanishasbeautysupply.com and order her. It's www.tanishasbeautysupply.com. That's TANISHAS beautysupply.com. She's $59.99, no shipping, no tax. And you get $10 off. This particular color is cotton candy. So for those of you who like length and you like the color pink, you want to be different, then this wig here has a lot of beautiful layers. And then you have your ombre at the top here, which gives you more of a realistic look. So I just wanted to showcase her today for you so you could see we wanted to do something a little different. And it comes in a variety of really unique colors. So you can check that out on my website. It's about 24 to 26 inches long, and it's just a loose layer wave. Um, it's synthetic. So if you won't be wearing this every day. Most people are not going to be wearing it every day. So this should last you for a very long time if you take care of it. So back to vendor information and things that you might encounter with lockouts. Like I said, just be persistent. And then one of the other things that I've been told is, okay, you have to start with $5,000. You have to start with 2,000. Now, some vendors I did get into, even though they told me I had to start with so many thousands, I would just a lot of times show up. And they'll tell me this is not a place where you just show up. You have to go online, blah, blah, blah. I say, I understand, but I'm there. And I would just say, I want to fill out an application. They didn't want to do that. I've had where I went to the place, I filled out the application, didn't hear anything from them. So you have to be willing to call them consistently. And it's really weird because you're willing to spend money with them, but they have unified so much that they really just want your money on the back end where you pay for the product. They don't want you to benefit from the front end. And I'm not saying that's every Asian. I'm not saying that. But in my experience, 90% of the vendors that I have gotten into, it has not been easy. I have had to fight. I have had to be persistent. And there are some vendors out there that have even had to be taken to court just to allow for Black people to be able to order their products. So, another thing you'll find out when you start getting into vendors is that your Asian counterparts, a lot of them are able to go into ordering their products. They'll spend 4,000, 6,000, 22,000, and they have an ongoing credit account. And whereas you have to take all the money that you can gather and you're not offered credit. So that's one thing you'll probably experience as you get into the beauty supply industry. But I would say this, don't give up, because there are only three ways to fight this. And number one is to, if you're going to fight it, you might have to take them to court. If you're willing to do that and you've got the time and the energy, that's one way you might be able to fight it. Because as Devin Robinson says, it's an economic hate crime, because we are the shoppers. They make over 90% of their money off of us, but then they lock us out. They try to lock us out. How crazy is that? So the other way that you might be able to fight this is to just boycott the stores. I'm not calling for a boycott. I'm not telling you to go boycott all Asian beauty supply stores. But if you want to be able to have a voice as a people, that would be one way to say, hey, we're not going to stand by, let you make all the money off of us and also lock us out of being able to compete with you. We're not going to do that. So if we just stop shopping at your stores, then you will have to hear us and respect us and allow us to also get into the market until we can get to the place where we're manufacturing our own stuff. And that is always the goal. So the other way that you can fight this, and this is the way that I'm trying to fight it, open more beauty supply stores. I'm trying to open, before my lifetime is over, I want to open at least 3. That's at the very minimum. I want to open at least 3 beauty supply stores. This is the second one that I've opened. So I'm really kind of rolling kind of fast, but I want to open at least 3 and I want to help others open. So speaking of helping others, those of you who are getting into the beauty supply industry, one uh, distributor that you might want to check out is Jinny Corp, Jinny Corp. They are located in 3 different states. If you just go on Google, you'll be able to find information about them. I did have some experience with them. Um, I was told I had to spend a certain amount to get going with my account. And basically, I filled out the application, gave my license, and it was time to order. I just said, you know what? This is what I got. I don't have 1,200, but I got 6 or I got 8, you know. So be willing to negotiate and let them know I don't have 5,000, but I've got 1,800. And be willing to do that so that you can go ahead and get into the ordering. Once you get into ordering from that company, then those requirements sort of go away. Um, so it's a place where when you do your ordering, basically everything comes by the case. They have several different products. They have most of the beauty supply products that you'll see when you go into the beauty supply store. Braid hair, I do know that they carry the queen bee braiding hair. They carry all kinds of the jam, the cream of nature products, the shining jam, pretty much everything that the beauty supply store has. Now, stuff like your purses and clothing, you're not going to find that at the Jinny Corp. But as far as your foundational products, all kinds of oil sheen, the Cantu products, the QP, Isoplus, um, got to be glued, all of that stuff you can get from them. So that's one vendor that you can try, to get into. Don't give up. If you get, a lot of times when you go into these vendors or you call them, you will be treated very rudely. Keep going. Because one of my friends told me, you know what, they're at the top. We got to go through them. That's just how it is. Until we get to the place where we unify enough to have our own distribution network, our own manufacturing network, our own everything. And it is not priced way up high, because we do have a lot of black owned some black owned companies, but the product might be $14, $10, whereas you can get another product that's not black owned for 4 or 5. So until we get there, we got to go through them, unfortunately. But don't give up, because the more African Americans that open beauty supply stores, the more powerful our voice is. So I really want to encourage you. It's a lucrative business. It's not just beauty supply products though. You got to be willing to carry wigs and hair because your money is not going to come mainly from beauty supply products. But I would encourage any African American to get into the business, to start your research, to start selling the products that we are buying, because we are the people who are buying this stuff. Koreans do not wear 99% of this stuff. They do not use 99% of this stuff, but they are making billions off of African Americans. And we need to have a piece of that pie. So thank you for listening. If you like the wig and you want to check it out, go to www.tanishasbeautysupply.com. Please subscribe to the channel. My goal is to get at least 1,000 subscribers so I can continue to bring you helpful content as I take this journey with my beauty supply store. It has been a wonderful journey, a hard journey, but it's paying off, it's profitable, and I want to continue to bring you tips and helpful ideas to help you get started in your beauty supply. So thank you very much. Please hit subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share the content and like. Thank you.